Welcome back to DS Trucks. So the straps on my salt spreader are starting to fail. So I am trying out some new straps. I don't know how this is going to work out yet, but let's go ahead and work on this together. So these are shock straps. You can go to shockstrap.com and check these out if you want. They got the phone number right there. And basically, it's got this thing in here that I'm guessing is some kind of poly. Uh, I don't know, some kind of rubber type poly material that will stretch when you tighten them up and will make it so you don't have straps that loosen up on you. And that's one of the things with these salt spreaders is as the temperature kind of changes with all this poly that's involved in the entire spreader, temperatures changes can make the straps come loose from time to time. So usually when it gets real cold, you might have to tighten these up again. And then as it gets warmer, usually they stay tight after they've been getting pretty warm. But I'm wondering if this poly strap would benefit at all being on a salt spreader. So these ones that I got are rated for 2,000 pounds per strap. I'm pretty sure that's enough capacity for these. I mean, everything is about the same size as the OEM buyer straps that we have here. As you can see, the actual strap is close to the same size, but I'm not sure if this poly thing that's on this shock strap makes it any weaker. And I'm not actually sure what the rating is on these OEM straps. So everything looks to be about the same size, though I think I'm going to be okay. So I don't know if you, when you're calculating all this, if you add them all up, because certainly one strap is not enough capacity for the entire load. Being that this is a 2-yard spreader, if you were to put 2 yards of salt in here, you could very well be 4 to 4,500 pounds easy, maybe even more if it's wet material. So if you can add up the capacity of all these straps being 2,000 pounds each, then they'll be enough. But I'm sure it'll be okay. Comment below if you know any better, and if I'm wrong, then I'll have to take these off. But I'm thinking that these 2,000 pounds per strap is enough. And I think if I went to anything bigger than this, then the hooks would be too big to fit on the truck. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully these hooks that I have already are not too big, but we will see. Another issue that I could run into before I even try this is the way these land, being that the strap is so much longer with the poly in it. The ratcheting mechanism is located where the poly is. So I'm going to be ratcheting this here, and hopefully that's not going to be an interference issue. If you look at it this way, ratcheting it here, my ratchet now will fall right where my frame or bed is. And I think there's going to be room, but I don't know. We'll see. So with this landing here, we'll see what happens. It kind of will look cool if the poly part's toward the top, because then you'd see it and like, what is that? What is that thing on there? But anyway, let's go ahead and try this out, and we'll see if it even works, if it fits on the truck. But anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to set this camera up, and I'll take these straps off, and we'll put these new ones on. All right, guys, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to take these shovels off and take all this stuff off in order to get these straps off. So here's my 48-inch shovel. What do you guys think about that? Guys, this thing can really do some snow. Let's see here. It's pretty cold out here today. All right. These are the best shovels, by the way. These are the snowplow shovel. And I think if you look at like a Boss shovel, like a Boss snowplow company, the actual snowplow company, Boss, they make a very similar shovel. And I actually think they just have these guys make their shovels, and they throw the Boss sticker on them. So these are the best shovels that you can buy. And you can actually pick these up, I think, at Ace Hardware. So yeah, I'm gonna get all these shovels out of here so I can have some room to work. And I'm going to pop these off. One of the controversies with salt spreaders is Do you really need to cross your straps? The shovel stuck. There's a nice 36-inch shovel. Pretty beast. This is like the perfect shovel. Like that big 48 one that I showed you, it's heavy. It's heavy once you put some snow on it. That 36-inch shovel is a sweet spot. And these ones are good too. For light work. For heavier snow, one that doesn't have that big of a pass, will cut through easier. But one of the big controversies is, should you cross your straps? And if you think about it, when you pull straight down, if I put this hook here and I went straight down, then it would actually create more of a clamping force. Like it would create better static friction down here by pulling this whole thing down and just making it so it's got a better clamp, better grip to the bottom of the truck. But I'm not sure. I think the reason that with poly spreaders, I think the reason that they have them set up the way they do to be the way they are as crossed is because I think if you strap it down, maybe the poly will bulge and it wouldn't perform as well. I'm not sure, but if you know the answer to that, let me know. I'm going to cross them again because that's how they always look on images. When you see these spreaders, they always look crossed. They are always in the crossed orientation whenever they are in photos. The instructions, I'm not sure if the instructions say that. I think they do, but honestly, I haven't read the instructions ever. So comment below if you know about spreaders and stuff and whether or not you should cross them. I do know that if I had a steel hopper, I would just go down, because the thing is, like, whenever one of these straps comes loose, say one fails, and I'll show you guys how this one was looking. If one of these comes loose, technically speaking, they all loosen because of the way that it's crossed. So like I just loosened this strap right here. Literally, this one's loose now because they're opposing each other. So they're all kind of tension together. Maybe that makes them work less hard all at once. But if this was going straight down, it would stay tight on its own. So these Beyer straps have been pretty good to me. They are starting to show a little bit of age, but nonetheless, they've been pretty good. Well, this side's loose. This side's loose. Get this out of here for now. This is the new guy. New guy right here. All right. Got off like that. Unhook it here. There. All right. So these ones are out. So this one is the one that started to fail right here, and I'll show you guys that. This is how it started to fail. It got frayed. It started to get cut by something. Probably still would have been okay, but I don't want to chance it and have it totally fail on me. So yeah. Now as far as the rating, is there a rating on here? So this rating has a working load limit of 1,400 pounds. It has a brake strength of 4,400 pounds. And it has a webbing brake strength of 6,000 pounds. I believe this strap is a little bit stronger. I don't know if all that information is on these new ones, but let's see here. It's got its warnings and cautions and stuff. Don't see the weights. I'll have to look online. It's got a patent on it. Okay, 2,000 pounds working load. So this doesn't have all those other things, the brake strengths and stuff listed on the actual product, but it has the working load, and it's a higher working load than what I'm taking off. So I'll have to look at what the brake strength and stuff is online. But yeah, let's see if I can make this thing work on the spreader here. All right, swinging it in, hooking it up, swinging it around. All right, seems all right. The hooks fit, no problem on the truck. All right, and here we go. So far, so good. And that's that. So extra strap, extra loops that I get here. Like I said, another extra loop like so right here. So yeah, it is an interesting point. It's like, why do they cross, but these aren't angled in order to really take advantage of the cross? They actually point kind of over. Kind of strange. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be a bad idea to have them going straight down. But anyway, I'm going to throw these on here, and I'll pause this video, and I'll actually touch base after I get all these on here. All right, guys, so I kind of had to play with this a little bit in order to get these to work because they are a little bit different in orientation and stuff. So I ended up putting the rubber part on the top here and then the rubber part down on the bottom over here. If I can get the camera to point, rubber part down there. And it kind of worked out that way because I couldn't tighten it up in this tight spot. Like when that handle kind of landed, where it landed. See if I can set this camera good. So where that handle was, it was kind of right in here, so I couldn't ratchet it. So I had to move that so that I can get the handle to actually work. Let's move this camera back here. So the handle, the ratchet handle is right there. So with it being in here, I was able to actually get up here on the tire, get in here, and actually ratchet it. So when you pull on the ratchet, it's interesting because it actually tightens up the rubber. It pulls the rubber tight, and you can see it actually just closes up this gap. What's interesting about using these is when you tighten them up, you can ratchet them tight, and it limits the amount of actual force on the product that you're tightening. In our case, it's a salt spreader. It's limiting the force here on the salt spreader. So it's kind of interesting. I'm grabbing my camera and hold it with my hand so you can actually see it's actually mounted on the tripod, but let's take it off and hold it by hand and see. So once these are tight compared to the other ones, you can still kind of pull on it and move it. It doesn't ever hit its full like over tightening. It kind of eliminates over tightening. Question will be, is this going to be enough to keep this thing from scooting or moving around at all? It should be. We shouldn't have issues, but I am curious. You know, this in order to get the kind of actual clamping force that we were getting, I'd have to tighten this all the way till this extra strap is bound. And the way that they explain it in the instructions is you still want to be able to get your hand through here, is what they say in the instructions. So I guess if this were to fail, then you'd still have the strap on the item, which is interesting. I mean, if it failed, wouldn't it be all the way loose? I'm not sure. So they definitely look pretty cool. We have the one bungee looking thing up here, and then when you kind of see it from back here, you can see that they are in there. So definitely cool, definitely interesting. You can tell that the overall clamping is not as much, but I don't know if that was too much. You know, with these ones, you can just keep ratcheting them, and it just grabs it tighter and tighter. Whereas with these ones, unless I'm gonna ratchet them so tight that I eliminate this slack in this part right here, then yeah. Now, for example, the other ones, I couldn't rotate these. The other ones, like this, you can rotate this. You can move this around if you had to. You could flip it. With the other ones, they were like definitely tight. So it's limiting the amount of force on your strap. So yeah, I'm wondering if that's going to be better. This is going to be something that I mean, obviously I'll drive it around and see what happens. But yeah, very, very interesting product. The company seems pretty cool. They put a letter in the package saying that they want to see pictures. And I think they are supportive of social media. So hopefully my review is going to be good at the end of the day. And maybe it won't work for the spreader. I think it will work. But I'm not sure if these I've never seen these used in this application. So this is something a little bit different, I think. So hopefully they do work. Maybe this is more for strapping down cargo. But nonetheless, we're trying it out. But anyway, I want to go ahead and wrap this video up. Comment below. Tell me what you think about this product. And I will see you guys in the next video. This is DS Trucks, over and out.